Any given artist has two defined voices. The first is the artist's voice, a term used for a person's creative style, perspective, and experiences that define what makes their art special and exclusive to them. An artist's voice is so special that it's deemed to be as unique as a fingerprint or a person's larynx. Physical voice is the other half, and though it's structured through physiological elements like hormones and the shape of muscles, it's also defined through experiences like the latter, who you grew up around, how much emotion you are used to using, and other environmental factors. Online, most commonly, both elements are massively important, but the physical voice in particular is something I find so interesting. A voice on YouTube is as tied to the creator's personality as an icon or thumbnail style, maybe even beyond that. On podcasts, group videos, collaborations, or any other project, you'll be able to distinguish between the familiar and the unfamiliar because of their voice. The vocal mannerisms, patterns, tempo, accent, etc., on top of the built-up character or personality make an unbreakable team. But what about the value of voice on YouTube? And how do the voiceless play a role? Voiceless YouTube channels may initially imply mostly visual experiences, but this isn't how it started. Alongside other vlog and comedy YouTubers in 2006, the comedian Judson Lightly would post a compelling no-narration video named Evolution of Dance, being one of the earliest channels to get famous off of not only a longer video, but also one without his voice. Music helped carry the performance by Lightly, but it was his personality via dance that truly shined through. Personality without commentary. Over the years, many other channels have similarly been able to make a rise this way, but through even more unique means. Enter gaming. I hypothesized that before gaming content on YouTube, the abundance of voice content was due to the mediums through which creators shared content online. Most of the time, you'd be recording with a physical camera, or later a smartphone, which has a built-in microphone. You rarely recorded yourself doing something without talking also being an element of the content, hence the skits and vlogs. Alongside raw footage and skits, gaming content began to take hold as early as 2007 with Athene Wins. On top of trying to essentially form a face cam over footage by panning between the monitor and Athene, the YouTubers so early on in the internet also served to play a character, a vital stepping stone. But seeing gaming content attempt voicelessness with personality was a different era altogether. But how do you communicate with your audience through gaming without your face or voice? Text may be one of the most powerful tools for all creators on YouTube, but for general purpose gaming content, it's everything. Subtitling, suboptimal corrections, dramatic title cards, text can be used all over the place. But surprisingly, using it to talk is also on that list. Text has about two key differences of usage before full-on voice, and the first is raw text. Many MMOs, and even some other game genres, have built-in chat features that, when zoomed in or framed well enough, can serve as a medium between the creator's personality and the viewer watching. One of the main drawbacks of this format is pacing, or how slow or fast the video is moving along. The time it takes to actively convey the concept of the video or even chat live in the moment of playing presents a challenge twofold. First, the creator needs to focus on the action or subject while tackling the chatting side to make sure everything is conveyed. Not ideal. Second, texting or typing, depending on the device, can be a huge challenge to keep up with the speed of how people typically talk. Not to mention the audience will have to read this at the end of the day. Oftentimes, this kind of video has the original recording sped up, but it still doesn't fix the fact that most people can listen more conveniently than quickly read. Often paired with the previous level is edited in text, specifically timed text at moments throughout a video to act as a voiceover, even if no audio is directly tied to it. Post-recording text has the opportunity to fix some of the pacing errors of live recorded game chats, but some cases work better than others. A typical 10-minute gaming video could feature hundreds of sentences, so edited-in text YouTubers often attempt to spam text on the screen, which just degrades the quality and can be unpredictable to catch reading. Even at its best, edited-in text unfortunately offers a reading experience, in a medium known for hyperactivity and passive viewing. Having an apt voiceover is already plaguing those who use their microphone. So to see some YouTubers who are able to thrive without any voice may seem like winning an uphill battle. In a personality context though, it's typically in a niche that only goes so far. Mr. Songo GT and Peter W, for example, are successful Growtopia YouTubers who primarily use chats in-game, whether due to technical limitations or the expectations of their audiences. Though personality is shown through editing, music, avatar attributes, game skill, and other indirect communications, transitioning to another gamer community may pose a challenge for these creators due to the choice of mostly forfeiting a voiceover, which often offers more range. Regardless, some creators can thrive and make a living off of a particular niche, and there's no rush need to expand or disrupt what's already working. In some cases, content like Mr. Songo GT's can act almost like a mannequin, with audiences being able to see themselves in the creator and relate more due to the minimized overall framework. In a different circumstance though, how are you supposed to improve voiceless content if you're too afraid to talk? What if your microphone's abysmal? That's where TTS hops in the ring. Text-to-speech is the final bound of a voiceless creator just before using a mic. In the same communities aforementioned with gaming, TTS is seeing use as a replacement for using a mic, especially helpful for non-fluent speakers seeking to appeal to a mostly language-specific YouTube audience of their respective games. Some YouTubers, like Peter W, use text-to-speech for comedic effect or even to generally read out the in-game chats, an enhancement of the previous recorded text technique. Others go as far as to replace an entire voiceover, though because it's such a hassle without a prepared script, it's more commonly seen on shorts, where the workload for one project is lower or writing is already pre-made, like TTS Reddit accounts. Text-to-speech, though, is both more human and potentially so much more inhuman as compared with the previous text formats. The necessity of cheekily editing in text or typing out paragraphs in a game gives an element of rawness and human ingenuity that could never really be automated. The text on screen is often in reaction to gameplay, and in-game chats simply require active in-person use that would be a nightmare to try and micromanage. TTS, though, is different. Though text-to-speech could also be used in reaction to gameplay, and even on top of text for comedic effect as aforementioned, it's far more often than its voiceless alternatives to replace the audio of an entire project. Sometimes this means a thought-out script when consistently covering an entire video, but it can just as easily be an automated script made by a language learning model. Oftentimes, as with text-to-speech Reddit accounts, the TTS actually just reads other real humans' posts or replies, making the YouTube channel a sort of shell void of personality. This isn't uncommon for YouTube. There are a ton of clip channels thriving nowadays that profit off of the personality of someone else. But TTS can add an entire new layer of separation from a creator's humanity. Voiceless YouTubers have a few tools at their disposal to construct personality without most of the person, but the rare few shouldn't be the example for the vast static growth that plagues the format. Modern day TTS, at least, features AI voices and significantly better than ever voiceover in general, so with the right script, it can really pose a major alternative to real voice when not sneakily using AI writing or automation. Adding a live or post-recording voice to content is extremely valuable, and in some YouTube genres like vlogging or podcasts, it's practically the quintessential element. But I've mentioned a lot about the importance of personality and voice. And that being said, what makes the voice so special on YouTube? Many of the more iconic channels live personality first and raw content second. The creators' gameplay may not be that good, or they may not be the best chef in the world, but their ability to keep an audience coming back triumphs over them as long as the entertainment is there for an audience. The core of any entertainer relying on this format is their personality. Personality on YouTube looks like any element unique to the creator, and the part that they face forward with. Some of these elements were created all at once at some point, or over the course of time. The plainly created elements of a personality can include an avatar, likely made early on to represent a creator, or just the outward traits audiences can glean from the content itself via delivery methods. Pacing, visuals, a face, and of course, a voice. These elements are closely tied to the personalities viewers see creators attached to, and in this case, they are almost completely static. The elements' utility to a brand is vital, and for some creators, even if it may seem better to change their silly name or upgrade a profile picture, it's what audiences associate them with. It's that important. For the most part, the initial relatively unpopular stage of a channel could be thrown out in this case, as branding is often vastly cycled through. Once a certain point is hit, personality elements could still be considered plainly created. It's what the majority of the audience will have always known. Some more natural elements may include non-physical qualities of a YouTuber like trustworthiness or intelligence. The overtime elements of a YouTuber's personality are what change and adapt over a great deal of time, the aspects not made black and white overnight. And changing one's voice is often something that naturally occurs over the course of a creator's career. Nexpo, a video essay and analysis YouTuber, went through a journey of sound over the course of half a decade before landing on the current rich, serious tone in use. Looking at the very start, Nexpo's microphone and unaltered technical side give an amateurish feel, but with the cadence and storytelling, the videos remain redeeming. Later, towards the middle chunk, Nexpo would gradually gain microphones with much more clarity, and the stuffed nose quality could be heard with more punch. With the major batch of recent content since the nailed-down technical side and new microphone, Nexpo's gained an aura of a more refined narrator feel, but the technical aspects are not the only features at play. Another key element of voice that gets refined over time is confidence. Early on in Nexpo's videos, the content and excitement were there, but the confidence and precision with each line were not. The sharp quality of his editing also ties into his personality via voice as a cycle of recognition by his audience. The deep and well-paced commentary feeds into the subject matter. It could be said that Nexpo's voice was an aspect of his personality built over time, a piece of his brand that got refined. Nexpo's marketing has also been refreshed but remained similar with the crescent moon logo, another overtime element. Thumbnail style is also a very common feature, and Nexpo's gone from an evolution of almost all text to near none as a generalization. Of course, Nexpo also has his own plainly created elements, mainly the vibe or theme. Nexpo remains today just as much in his first videos pursuing dark or creepy content, and it's been the most consistent feature of his channel across over half a decade. Considering non-tangibles, audiences can expect a channel like Nexpo's to be trustworthy and of high quality, especially due to the infrequent uploads and the genuine quality of the product. Successful creators all have both core and changing elements, and they make up who they are as brands and artists. Each element, from thumbnail to voice, gradually builds a personality, something audiences can continue to expect time and time again, something they can attach to. The first impression a viewer has of a creator could be sourced from many areas. An Instagram post, a collaboration, a drama video, a tweet, or a million different other things. The most vital way I found YouTubers, though, was on the classic recommendation page. Through this medium, audiences don't experience just a small fragment or even a core piece of a YouTuber. They're experiencing a YouTube video made directly by the creator, ideally their main content. This first watch sets up many expectations early on that are best saved for another video, but notably the voice is one of these key elements of the creator for a lot of channels. Unfamiliar voices may trouble some YouTubers from a fresh audience member's perspective. Especially in content predicated on commentary, news, or podcasting, some voices can simply be grating by nature, repulsing initial viewers. Some people can't tolerate hearing voices with lisps, throat clearing, microphone popping, or a plethora of other voice qualities that can be found in any medium with commentary. Of the unfortunate voice qualities, high-pitched or nasally voiced people are most often to be found unbearable for some. For many voice qualities, viewers may exit a video and never watch the creator again. After all, some people in real life may not be able to tolerate friendships due to vocal annoyances, so sticking to a YouTuber is an easy skip. I discovered a smaller Fortnite channel in September 2018 that was providing game commentary without the extra baggage of baiting that was common at the time. I Talk Fortnite. I would later discover that the reason this channel annoyed me initially was the nasal quality of the creator's voice. I wasn't sure back then if I would stick around and subscribe, but now I realize the important element was the personality of the creator. Despite a somewhat off-putting voice to me at first, the quality and heart of the commentary made such an impact on me that I feel connected to the creator to this day. I began to trust the YouTuber and appreciate just his insights and commentary. Instances like this remind me of how important at least adding a voice to your content is. It's a huge element of what makes it special and personal. But what if taking upgrades a step further can retroactively affect a creator's voice? Using your face in YouTube videos dates back to the very first YouTube video. It's a huge advantage in most cases, though those implications are outside of the scope of this topic. With later genre creations like the viability of gaming content or commentary/podcasts, using or not using a camera became more of a dedicated decision. As a result of more common professional setups with nice lighting and set dressing, creators in the modern day may early on see it more beneficial to just leave it to voice. After all, just a solid mic may leave a better impression than adding on bad lighting. But there often comes that inflection point. A face reveal. Face reveals are overall a rite of passage for some YouTubers, but almost always a necessity in gaming YouTube eventually. Some of the more popular face reveals are, unsurprisingly, one of the more popular videos on that creator's channel. The videos are typically an appealing bundle deal. A face reveal may be celebrating a milestone, announcing a new channel or project, hosting a rare Q&A, but in some instances, viewers may experience incongruity with the creator's voice and appearance. Oftentimes, fans will have an idea of what a creator looks like based on their voice, or in a lot of cases, even the avatar of the creator's brand. When a face reveal drops, especially when it's made a massive deal and hyped up over time, people can have their expectations shattered. This occurrence bears much resemblance to the book to live action discussion, where individuals cast for movies or TV may not live up to the imagined appearance or even limited official art attached to the book version of a character. The less information available, the more the audience will try to fill in the gaps. In this case, details of appearance, making the betrayal of expectations more intense. Unlike fictional stories though, there's no going back or setting a headcanon appearance for a creator. A creator's real appearance is literally the one and only vessel for their voice, which makes this phenomenon even more strange. Some YouTubers face reveal, only to not overtly change their content and remain mostly faceless. This could lead to a reversion back to seeing them as their channel avatar or another imagined expectation. Most of Dream's content or media out in the ether, based on Minecraft challenges, is either entirely voice-based or faceless. So even after a massive face reveal, it's easy to have a jarring moment every now and then when Dream is talking without the mask. Due to the limited amount of content surrounding Dream's face, when his voice is played, I wonder if the audience envisions his masked Minecraft avatar or real-life face. The voice we hear bonds with the visuals accompanied by them. When the voice is the primary medium of personality for a YouTuber, audiences will pick up on other subtle or nuanced ways of understanding that YouTuber on a deeper level, which includes small attributes as well as the avatar that takes on the appearance. In the Minecraft community, you will almost always have a Minecraft skin attached to a particular creator, and other games with sandbox customization systems may experience something similar. Our general understanding of a creator's personality includes appearance, even when given few details. Besides the cases of voice reveals or transitions, the voice doesn't change. This bond between voice and appearance hitting a wall of mismatch may turn a familiar personality into a strangely distant one. One thing I've saved to mention is that a creator's familiarity with its audience is only a matter of time. Like mentioned with iTalkFortnite, a foreign voice became a familiar one shortly after experiencing his content. I didn't stay because of a trap or because it was the only place for what I was looking for. iTalk was the best, and I was there to stay, hardly putting a stake in the fear of voice category. Any voice will become familiar over time, whether it's forced upon audiences after so many collaborations, or fought through with good content. Personality changes, or not. The fundamental reason you stick with a creator will rarely be just the voice, which means a fundamental reason for leaving won't be either. Voice on YouTube may seem fundamental, heck, even a face might as well, but after so much time, it's easy to see those ridges fade away, even with such high-level content on YouTube. Voiceless videos can come in so many forms, for better or worse, and personalities can be built without the original creator's physical attributes in any form. Like a character in a TV show you get around to after a while, the videos you enjoy will pull you in more than a grating or annoying voice can keep you away. Unfamiliar voices become familiar over time, even with fluctuations in appearance or other personality attributes, as long as you stick around. Any given artist has two voices, and on YouTube, creators only have to worry about the one that creates.